Crazy.
Hey! I should be straight on time. I checked it. Welcome to another edition of Purpose for Forever. I am Mr. Anthony Walker. This is the wife, Samantha Walker, the wife.
The wife. Okay.
Oh, we appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for rocking with us. Thank you for being on the replay as well. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for tagging, doing all those things that my prayer is that you're doing.
Right.
So we are talking today about what does forever look like. How does that translate into a marriage, a lifetime marriage, and some of the ups and downs and some of the things. If you've not been married, if you're watching this and you're single, some of the things you can kind of watch out for. But there's never a full blueprint of what to watch out for because anything can happen.
Anything.
So we're gonna just kind of talk about our journey a little bit. But so just what does forever look like? All right. So this is the opportunity to share. Sharing is caring, and let everybody know that Purpose for Forever is here. All right. So be right back.
Me and you together, our purpose for forever. Won't let nothing ever tear us apart. Me and you together, our purpose for forever. Won't let nothing ever tear us apart. Me and you together, our purpose for...
I just get, hey, I just busted right back.
Yeah.
So like I said, today we're talking about what does forever look like. And in terms of, coming together, you discover, your faults and some of the quirky things about each other.
I don't have no faults. I'm perfect. Just the way I am.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
So talk about the different quirky things that you discover about each other, the different things that you might find a little weird, but it's just part of who they are. Just in the journey, learning how to be patient, of course, through the ups and downs, the different moods and different times and seasons and all of that good stuff. Learning each other's different ways. So we're kind of discussing, kind of what does it look like? What does forever look like? I mean, in terms of coming together, getting married, you never, well, those guys never. I feel like most, at least us, you see coming together, you say forever, to death do us part, and we're gonna rock this thing. We're gonna rock this thing and get our RV and travel the country once we get old. But we don't know exactly every turn, every twist, what the bumps are going to be in our road.
In between.
In between, our journey. And I think like not the last one, but the one broadcast before, we spoke about, just being married, what it looked like, why we got together and things of that nature. I don't know if I said why, but kind of like the marriage and things of that nature. But today, just kind of digging into what does forever look like as far as having the patience, some of the qualities and kind of learning how to ride certain things out. And for lack of better way of putting it, just kind of taking away, not the big infidelities or the stuff that causes marriages to break up, but just the small things, how we kind of navigated some of those things and how we built our relationship up, just on a daily basis, and kind of what it looks like, because like you have a plan as far as what you want to do. We want to get a house, we want to do our career thing, we want the kids, but you never know exactly what that's going to look like. You never know what challenges you're going to face. And I kind of wanted to just say that because as much as you plan, you never know what's going to happen to your spouse. You never know how much you're going to, and not death.
What's happening?
I'm just saying, as far as how much I need to take care of you, what things I need to do, I might need to help bathe you. I might need to help, just certain things.
This might be a cry for help. If you're watching this video,
You know what?
check on me. I am not okay. All right.
But
sorry.
yeah, just the journey of the forever. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Having the patience. Having the understanding, being open minded. Because if you're really like a scheduled, planned kind of person that everything needs to fall into place, being married, things are not going to always fall into place. Things are not going to go according to plan.
They don't.
And so
it's his fault.
you have to be prepared for that flex. You have to be prepared for things to be different, because now, especially if you traveled, if you're older and you got married or even married again, you got to remember now it's not just you, it's two, and if you got kids, that's even more flex because it's more factors, more things to think about. Where vacation isn't always vacation. Or whose vacation is this? This is the kid's vacation? Then this ain't your vacation. You're gonna get a little bit of rest, So it's and then having that understanding, because you go somewhere, you're thinking in your mind, we vacation, and yeah, you're getting a little bit of rest, but you got kids, so you got to do some work.
Think that.
Right?
Only
I
daddies
guess.
think that.
I guess.
Because mommies work all the time. Mommies know that once there's kids, there's always work.
No.
There's no, when you take them somewhere, I already know I have to look for family-friendly restaurants. I already know, like there's certain things that I know that come along with the little rascals.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I get it too. But, you try to find ways to enjoy the time yourself as well. So it's, like I said, it's understanding what the journey looks like, maybe some expectations, what you're hoping for. So let me ask you, in getting married,
It was in me.
yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Having kids, being married, how much is there anything that you saw that you're not seeing, or is there anything that you thought would be like would naturally happen, or a certain flow, or certain things that you thought might have happened that didn't, or did you expect more of or less of,
You mean like as far as being a mom? Or you talking about as far as being your wife?
being a wife?
No, not really. I mean, I knew that having kids changes the dynamics of your household.
Right.
All the way around. So in my mind, I had already thought that out. Like I grew up in a house full of kids,
Right.
with a lot of siblings. So I already know once you add extra people, things change.
Right.
So for me, yeah, I don't think there's no, I didn't really have anything set in my mind. Like, I don't think so. Like, I knew that, yeah. I didn't have in my mind, I feel like I was prepared. I was prepared for what having kids meant.
Okay.
You know what I did, and I would say this: like, I didn't realize that sometimes I would have to say, "I need a break from kids."
Gotcha.
Like, in my mind, I just thought we have both evolved so much that you kind of got that, that wasn't something that I would have to say. Like, can't you take them with you? Like, I didn't think I would. That's one thing I guess sometimes I'm not always prepared for. Like,
Gotcha.
when you be ready to go, sometimes, all right, I'm going, I'll be back. And I'll be like, oh, wait. Because it's just like, oh, well, you're going to be home. I'm just going to leave him here. And so, yeah, that part I think I wasn't always prepared for.
Okay.
But nothing like threatening, nothing like, angering, because I just go with your daddy. I'm just saying, it's not like it's something like, oh my God, I didn't see that coming.
Right.
No, I don't really have those moments. Okay. So what about you?
No, I didn't have a lot of expectation. I mean, like I've always said, from having once having our baby, especially AJ coming, this is the coming home. I remember just being in the hospital, and it was like, he had went to the NICU, and it was like, boom, tomorrow you gotta take the baby, we're taking the baby home, and it just kind of settled like, oh, it's home time, ain't it? Because we've been kind of going to, we up there late night with the baby, and then you go home, go sleep, come back,
See,
but then,
right, sleep. Because that is your focus, sleep.
That's my sleep. But so it was that that adjustment. But like I've always said, I never wanted to be behind and taking care of the kids. Like I never wanted to struggle with having the babies. Like I never wanted to be the dad that was the babysitter. Like I just wanted to be. I'm the other parent. So that part kind of was later. I never really thought about till I guess once you got pregnant, that's when I really started getting into that space. But no, I don't know if I had any expectation. Like I never really had a thought of how this would work. The missing out on sleep was already discussed. Sleep is important. Don't act like it ain't.
It wasn't. That was the least of my concern. Like I never.
Yeah. So,
like I said, I'm the oldest of 5, so being up at night with a baby, that was kind of like a given.
Right, and it was new for me. So, but yeah, it never really a big expectation. I think more the different shift and challenges now that they're bigger, I think is like, okay, I think it's of course a little more hands off than you used to because it's not the baby, it's not the baby stuff, but there's the other stuff you gotta watch.
It's more hands off. I think the hands just have moved.
Yeah.
Not like when you learn how to drive, you're like at 10 and 2, right? And you're driving, and the more comfortable you become driving, you don't drive at 10 and 2 no more. You might do this or have your hand or one handed. That's kind of like parenting. In the beginning, you at 10 and 2 because you're like, oh my God, he's gonna fall. You're gonna hurt himself. Are you hungry? Are you tired? Am I hurting him? Am I doing it right? 10 and 2.
Right.
You don't want to miss nothing. And then, every couple of years, the 10 and 2 get a little lower. As they get older, then you be like one hand parenting because you feel like you got all the answers.
Right. I get, and then some jump in front of you, just like
right, and then you grab that 10 and 2 back, and you gotta get them back in line sometimes.
Right.
And then you go back to your eye. I got this.
Yeah. Because the first time, and any parent knows, like the first time the diapers stop and the wipes, you thinking in your mind, oh snap, no more diaper wipe formula money. No, we're just taking the same money and just putting it towards more food, and it's actually more it increases. So
and that continues to increase.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I never really had any preconceived notions as far as family of how.
So what about outside the kids? What did you think? Did you have any ideas of what marriage should look like? I know they say if you want your sex life to die, get married. Like different stuff. Men say, did you think you were gonna wind up with the ball and chain and your wife can't go nowhere?
The thing is, I mean, because I got married so soon into my adulthood, like at 22, was it 22, 23-ish?
21.
Was it? It wasn't 21. Was it 21? Okay, yeah, it was 96, 21. Okay, so what? All right, so like I didn't have a bunch of those conversations. I didn't sit around old dudes who complained about wives. I didn't sit around accelerated dudes that just either been through a divorce, so I was never around or exposed to that stuff. So I never thought about it like that. I never saw marriage as a ball and chain situation.
You didn't necessarily see it as fun either. What did you think?
I didn't know. I didn't, because I didn't know. Yeah, I had no idea. Like I just knew it was coming together, settling, living somewhere, loving, paying bills. I mean, just we together and we have a family. Like
so much.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's how most people get married. I was like, there was no fun marriages around me. 0. Well, sorry, 1. My aunt and uncle. They were like the only ones that seemed like they like being around each other like that, lovey-dovey. But I didn't see a lot of that. I didn't see a lot of that. So it affected how I came into marriage. And not like, and we didn't have like a long counseling session, like really get to the meat of what marriage and love and all that stuff is. Let's see. Dr. Rollins said I didn't really have examples of marriage and family that I wanted to replicate. I knew more about what I didn't want it to do than what I wanted to do. Right.
That much I could definitely agree on.
Yeah.
I knew what going in. I knew. Well, no, I can say like in my mind, I had an image.
Hey, Lisa.
I had an image of what I wanted. But I also had a long list. Like I probably had 50 things I didn't want. And then
right. Yes.
And then maybe like 5 things, that I knew that I wanted. Yeah, there wasn't too many fun marriages.
But my parents were still pushing it, even though they weren't truly happily married.
Listen, I think, it's sad to say, like the older that you get, you kind of look back at your parents and not for everybody, but for several people, you realize like they ain't been happy since I was 5, or you can think back and look at the times that your dad made your mom real happy. Like, oh, I remember dad did this and my mom was happy. But about 2 weeks later, and it's crazy that, when you get older, you kind of, see that and you're like, wow, like, yeah, now I see why my mom was always yelling at my, now I see. And the older you get, you really kind of understand those things. So yeah, I definitely had things that I didn't want, but like, in my mind, even though I'm from the hood of New York, I kind of wanted like the Heathcliff and Claire, not like the doctor and lawyer. No, I mean, that's great, but I mean, like, I wanted, like how they seemed like they liked each other. Yeah, they did. And, they respected each other and, they did fun stuff with their kids. Right. Man, I didn't really like that the kids kept moving back home. I didn't like that part. But I liked their interaction. Yeah. So in my mind, like, that's what I wanted. Right. I thought like, get married and this dude's my friend. So like, this is gonna be great. Right. And then I didn't really have a plan on how to get that. Yeah. Or how to turn it into that. Right. Or how to steer the relationship toward that. And it took 20 years? Yeah. Yeah. It's really 20 years to really figure it out. Right. And mainly because I think along the way we stopped trying to figure out, I stopped trying to figure out how to get that relationship. And it became more like, this is your fault. I was just blaming him. Well, if you do this, then we'll have this. If you do this, then we'll have this. And so yeah, I took my eyes kind of off of a plan to turn our relationship into that. Right. And it was kind of like, well, if you would do this, then we could be something else. Right. I think a lot of yeah. And then, I think if we probably been around some inspirational couples, maybe that might have, like, hey, like the Rollins or something back then, saying they went here or you went to praise and like, oh, we should try, try to do a little more hanging out, some more, maybe I think it's a little more inspiration maybe would have helped some, just to kind of understand. But I think we didn't have the same idea. Right. Because like I said, I wanted the interaction and you wanted the other part of Claire and husband. You wanted the business side, work, career side of it. Yeah. And you was more focused on that part. Like, well, listen, I'm working, I'm doing this. And I was focused on the opposite part. So I don't know that. I mean, but then we would have found those that probably do both and found a balance and wishful thinking, coulda, woulda, shoulda. I'm just, at the time, I, like I said, we weren't around the most healthiest couples. We was the brokenness, but we was the healthiest Right. And that's the crazy part. Like, even in our turmoil, we were
the best
we
couple.
were the best couple
People seeking
that we
advice,
knew,
like, you want
which was scary because we went home and kind of didn't really interact with each other
Right,
much.
right.
But on the outside, we looked like we were solid.
Right. So yeah, I think just learning, knowing what your forever looks like, and having that conversation, what you expect or what you would like to see. Not really expect, but like, what would you like your marriage to be like, or what would be enjoyable? Said oh Lord,
No, not Florida J.
Not when you start off like
was
that.
happy living in the project, struggling with three kids. Our TV shows gave me more hope
in real
than
life.
real life, right? But I got older, I started to
See
see.
more happily married folk. Yeah, definitely.
Listen, I don't. Were they happy? Is that what? They just was so poor. I couldn't see the happy.
James was angry.
Yeah, he didn't seem like he was happy.
He rarely smiled. Coming up in Cabrini Green, I guess he just was angry.
Yeah.
His face, his demeanor was always, I know it's a TV show, but his face.
Yeah, he did. He looked like he was miserable.
Yeah, they had moments. Oh, Florida, they go away. I think they went away to some cabin or something.
They went away?
They did. They went away. I remember.
They could not afford a vacation.
Probably won it. Somebody gave it to him. Who knows? I remember that episode. But yeah, thinking about good times and things like that.
Where you been? I know this is way off topic, but I haven't seen you. You don't come and check on the sisters no more. All my little feelings is hurt.
Where he said he told his wife she was beautiful in every episode.
Did he?
Yeah. I guess so. I'm not a big fan of it, so maybe I must have.
Florida, you're beautiful,
right?
Like that.
They loved each other, but they argued at the. Yeah, you're right.
Oh God,
they sure did. But then some attractive woman came there, like was hiding out. Or something.
A woman that combed her hair and took a shower.
I'm talking about Florida. She had 3 kids that drove her crazy, living in Cabrini Green.
Tell me, when you ever see her shower in that show? Just one episode where you saw her go in the bathroom and take a shower. I'll wait. Yes, you see the kids go in the bathroom and shower.
Put on PJs. You're right. He said, "Oh, okay, my bad. I picked up an additional position at work. Oh, I'll be swamped. I'll be checking them all.
I miss you too."
Don't dog Florida like that.
Listen, I don't remember one episode that she showered. Maybe I need to text Lisa Jackson. Good Times is her show. Right. She'll know if she ever showered. Okay, I'm sorry. We got on top.
We are. But the journey.
Yeah, well, I'll say this. As far as like your forever to death do you part, like I've said before, you create the life that you want to have. I mean, it took me a long time to accept those words for myself and put those words into action. But, I control myself, my actions, my destiny, what I want, what I don't want. Of course, I look to God for all of that. We're not discounting your beliefs and all of that. I'm just saying, like, I'm the master of my fate in a sense. So if I want there to be roses in my garden, right, I have to plant them. So like, if I want my house to, have respect, I have to make sure I bring respect with me. I give what I want. So I give respect and let it be known that this is the standard. If I set the standard, for respect, is like, why would you disrespect me when I'm respectful to you? Right. Why would you do the opposite? Now, yes, there are those cases that these things happen, right, but for the most part, communicating those things and displaying the things that I want is how I create my forever. Like you said, it's not an exact science. Sometimes things go wrong. Sometimes things go left. Sometimes it's a bad day. You think you like being the sweetest, and he bites your head off. I don't want to eat no breakfast. Oh, okay. Well, we're fasting today, right. But everybody has those days. Right. And, another trick is not letting that moment
Yeah.
Like not letting a moment be a memory.
Right.
Meaning you take that moment, that bad, whatever, the bad response, the tone of voice, and you turn that into an epic something. Now that is a memory that you guys have
Right.
that kind of replays in your head. So
Right.
like I'm always conscious of that. Sometimes if I don't like the way you respond, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give you a minute because you need one.
Right.
And it's important sometimes to let it be known, like I don't like this, and just move on to something else. Like I don't try to steer every moment. Like this is gonna be what I want it to be.
Right.
Like that's unrealistic, and I can't force him to be anything. You can't force your spouse to be something in your relationship. But I know I give what I want to receive. So when I give honesty, I expect to give to get honesty in return. I give respect. I expect to give that, get that in return. Love and my commitment and my dedication daily, because forever is still one day at a time.
It is.
You're never gonna get to forever. You ain't gonna wake up and it's forever. It don't happen that way. It's one day at a time. So every day might be a new challenge where you have to do something that you did yesterday. Right. And that was a hard thing for me too. Because didn't I just say this last week? Like, yeah, you did. But last week is last week. Right. You have to every day, one day at a time.
Right. Yeah. It's the constant, it's communication, it's talking, it's the moments. And like, so bad days can happen anytime. You could be in the best place, best geographically, go somewhere, and it could be beautiful, nice, and your spouse could still be having a bad day. And it's being able to kind of not let this bad day turn into something worse, turn into a moment that's brought up for a long time, because we go off the deep end on it, well, you said, and what you said, so it's one of those, if someone's having a bad day, it is what it is. It could be very reasons. We're people, we go through things, we have moments, and you just try to enjoy the moment, try to get through the moment, try to feel out the moment, and respect each other. Like I get it. You're having a bad day, but try not to bite everybody's head off. Like what's wrong? Just one of them days, but you just like, especially when you with, like for me, like when with everybody and you're having a moment, but you're still present with your family. You know what I'm saying? Like you try not to bring down the mood, trying to tank the mood. Things
I
of that
can't
nature.
do that.
Yeah.
I when I'm having a bad day, sometimes it's all right to need to be by yourself.
Well, yeah.
Like, like trying to push it and that extra interaction. Yeah. At some point, I'm going to snap and I'm going to say something, or I'm going to have a face, or, it's going to be something. So sometimes it's all right to just be clear about what you need. Right. Like today, I need to be able to stay in the room with the remote and not be bothered. And that, and that has to be okay. Yeah. Like, it sometimes it may not be understood, but you have to communicate it. Yeah. Like, I think sometimes we just don't communicate effectively. Right. We're not, like there's a way to say everything. Right. And more times than not, I think if you're clear about what you need and kind of when you need it from somebody, I think it makes it easier for me to give it to you. And he says he's hungry. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to the kitchen and bring you something. And then I go make a sandwich, turkey sandwich or something. He's like, I don't want that. I'm like, okay, go back, come back. I got a burger. I don't want that. I'm hungry. Whereas in the beginning, if he's like, babe, I'm hungry. Can you make me a cheeseburger? Like, it just, because you communicated what you need. Right. And kind of when you need it, I need it now because I'm hungry. It makes it easier for your partner to give it to you.
Definitely. Yeah, having that understanding of what you need, and needs change. I'm this decade I'm all about burgers. Next decade I've got this fetish for peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. You know,
it's always something.
you know, it changes. He said, my wife can drop that turkey sit next to me. I'm gonna eventually eat it, right? Mad, right? Fine. Need some more mayonnaise on it.
Right.
So yeah, it's definitely knowing the seasons and
you're right though.
And being able to get through, because you're gonna have seasons, you're gonna have moments. It's not always gonna be the most wonderful time, but at least you'll try to enjoy moments and things of that nature. But the focus, kind of like, instead of living for the weekend and vacations, you learn to enjoy the week, watching movies and having conversations and things of that nature.
I can't wait till the summer.
Right. Waiting, it's kind of like, it's a drudge until you get to a moment, and it shouldn't be that way, especially in your relationship. He said later, tell everyone she forced me to eat something I didn't want to eat. But I agree, communication is key. Can't get forever without positive communication. Right.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you, so then what happens after you angrily eat the sandwich? Do you wait till people come around and tell them she made me this sandwich? I didn't even want a sandwich. I wanted a burger. Or do you just let it go?
Right.
Because something that small, like you bring it up in a room full of people.
Right.
And she wouldn't even make me a burger. She made me a turkey sandwich.
I don't even like turkey.
Right, all of a sudden. Because he got stuff all of a sudden that now...
I ain't eat turkey in the last 2 months.
Who really pay that much close attention to your diet?
Did you see me go eat that turkey? You didn't see me touch the turkey.
Too much work. Too much work.
Yeah, so, pay attention to the change in seasons, the change in tones, and just knowing where your spouse is at. I think that's a big one. Let's see. Hold on. He said, yeah, that sandwich is being brought up again.
Well, if she give me a certain look, I would drop the issue. Us husbands know that look. I'm about to say, you about to get shot with the death stare. Like, you didn't bring up a sandwich right now.
If I bring something up, you got to bring yours up. Oh man, but yeah, so I mean that's kind of like some of the keys and some of the stuff we kind of want to talk about today. Just what forever looks like as far as the watching the change of seasons and just being able to be patient
and work on your friendship.
Yeah,
I know, like, it sounds crazy because I think sometimes people get married and they forget like that you still want to like this person.
right.
Because there are going to be days that, you might not feel like you like them. Like sometimes I want to give Anthony the big marshmallow. Like at night, I just want to roll over and he going to get the marshmallow. So like on those days, when you're just not feeling it, it's easier when you can think of that person as your friend. Like you always love them. But sometimes that anger level just can shoot up. But if you work on your friendship, like being able to talk to each other, it'll make it harder to stay mad at each other. Because if everything is just, like on a husband and wife level, right. When you get on my nerves, my husband, we have nothing to talk about. What you want to talk about? The kids? The kids is fine. I paid the light bill, and then that's it. But if there's a friendship there, it makes it easier just to have random conversation about anything. Oh, what'd your boss do last week? And she's right. Like, but then she'll talk because right. she know you and she know that that's your way in. I think it's important to always work on the friendship. Always look at, you want your spouse. I don't want him to just be my husband. Like, honestly, if we were just husband and wife when we got divorced, that would have been it. Like, I think, that's why it's so easy sometimes for people to have such bitterness between them because they were never friends. Right. They got together, started dating, fell in love, had some babies, get divorced, and now they hate each other.
Right.
And she went, I don't even know why I ever stayed with you so long. I didn't like you anyway.
Right.
Because it was never a friendship. Like, honestly, our friendship is really the only thing that was the main thing that caused us to be able to reconcile.
Right.
I mean, time out, you was in class with us talking and all of that. We were, our friendship is the thing, that kept us together. Even when we were apart and doing different stuff, we still were able to be friendly.
Right.
To be friendly,
right.
To one another. So I think it's important to try to see your spouse, as more than just your wife.
Yeah.
Be your wife and be your friend. I think that's important. People say, "Oh, we a team. That's my wife. That's my teammate." Yeah, okay, that's great. But friendships, the bonds of friendship, I think, are real important. Like really getting to know stuff about somebody, and it's kind of like organic. Like there's things he know about me just because he knows me. And I think that's really important when you're talking about forever, because there's seasons of your life that you go through and things change. I mean, like we're in our 40s. And in the last few months between COVID and I don't know, I guess just old age, we've seen a lot of people that we know or went to high school with that have passed away. Right. Like they were here one day on Facebook on Monday, on Tuesday, they're gone. And having the bond of friendship that we have, being able to talk about those things, because watching people that pass, like even if it doesn't have a large emotional response, it plays in your head. It makes you think about your own mortality. Makes you think about your age. Have I done all the things I wanted to do? Oh gosh, maybe I need to keep in touch with people more. You go through all of that, but like having a friend, having someone that you can talk to about that, like, yes, he's my husband. So if he sees me sad, he's gonna, oh baby, don't be sad. But because he's my friend also, like I can say, hey, such and such, this happened. And he understands things on a deeper level because we are friends.
It's good.
No brownie points.
That's good. So that's it. That's it. That was good. So we appreciate you guys being with us and hanging with us. That friendship thing really it matters. It matters. It'll get you through a lot of the roughest spots.
Might be the missing piece.
Yeah.
Maybe you can't figure out.
Yeah. Friendship and just
friendship. What a big marshmallow.
That's a big marshmallow. All right. Perfectly said, Sam. See, he agreed too. All right, guys. So we appreciate you. Thank you for hanging with us. Rocking with us another edition of Purpose for Forever. We come on every. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Appreciate that. Every Monday at 8 p.m.
And then Tuesday at 8:30, the ladies, Sisters of Legacy. We're on every Tuesday at 8:30, and then you got
the brothers on at 9 a.m. So make sure you stay connected.
And we got Lisa in here. Lisa has her show comes on Thursdays at 7 p.m. I believe.
Yes. Change the channel.
Bam, he got it. Lisa has always been a great supporter. She comes in, she shares, even if she doesn't stay. So we want to talk about her show Thursdays at 7. Last week she had a great show on domestic violence.
Yes.
As we know, October is domestic violence month. So she had a show about that last week that we watched. Really great.
Yes.
So guys, support Lisa on Thursday, 7 p.m.
Yes,
or catch a replay. She has a great opening.
Oh yeah.
Very different. She's very herself. So if you're looking for something a little different, something, people, she's moving in her own lane. I think it'll be great for you guys to check her show out.
Definitely. There you go.
Now I'm done.
Now you done?
Yes.
All right. Oh, no problem. All right. So we look forward to seeing you guys next week.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So as always, Love intentionally
love unconditionally,
and love on
on
purpose.
purpose.
Don't do that. Don't
You
do that. I
could
did a
remember.
pause.
Me and you together, our purpose for forever.